Hi everyone, this is Migs from Sneaks and Ball PH, and I'm super excited that I finally got my hands on these. So today we have a quick look and unboxing on the Adidas DON Issue number 2, Spidey Sense. To start things off, I was super excited when I saw Donovan Mitchell wear the DON Issue number 2s during the NBA's restart in the Orlando bubble. He was definitely on a hot streak while wearing these because he did score 57 points against the Denver Nuggets in Game 1 of their first round playoff matchup. It is kinda sad that the Jazz fell short to the Denver Nuggets in 7 games after leading the series 3-1. But of course, Bogdanovic was injured, so who knows, it might have been different had he been playing. But there's no doubt that Donovan Mitchell is definitely a rising star in this league and might well be on his way to becoming a superstar. Even though Adidas and Donovan Mitchell are only on their second iteration of the DON Issue series, I've already become a big fan. And it also has some really cool colorways because of that Marvel collaboration. And lastly, the killer feature of the DON Issue number 1s was that they were very inexpensive. And the exciting thing about the DON Issue number 2s is that they still do have the Marvel theme, an inexpensive price tag, and they do look like they will be beasts on court as well. So I'm just saying, I think, these are legit. Then for the unboxing, the DON Issue number 2 in the Spidey Sense colorway comes in this Marvel Adidas box, which is pretty much the same box that came with my Spiderman DON Issue number 1s. And I think it's safe to say that all of the Marvel or Spiderman inspired colorways of the DON issues will have this kind of box. So you do have some Adidas and Marvel branding here at the top, and all throughout the box it does have this sort of comic book design, and you do have a lot of the Marvel superheroes. And then now, time to take a peek at the shoes. So just opening up that lid, and then you do have some paper that has Adidas and Marvel branding as well. And then let's take these out, and bam, that is super duper bright and super loud. And then just putting this down for a while. Then here you have your left shoe, and if you like loud colors, then this all neon situation is gonna be your kind of thing. And here you have it, guys. This is the Adidas DON Issue number 2, Spidey Sense. So just a few quick tech specs on the Adidas DON Issue number 2. So for the outsole, you do have a spiderweb traction pattern, and the grooves are pretty widely spaced. In the Spidey Sense colorway, the rubber is translucent, and then you also have quite a few cord out sections for flexibility. The cord out portions are here on the midfoot, here at the forefoot, and then one running down the middle. The rubber does feel pretty tacky, and I think that they will work pretty well. However, of course, I just tried these out at home, so I will have to take these out on court to see how they will perform. The rubber is a little bit on the harder side, and the grooves aren't too thin. So for the durability of the outsole, I think it'll be pretty good. Then for the cushion, like the Adidas DON Issue number 1, you do have a full-length bounce midsole. I've always been a fan of bounce cushion because it does have some good impact protection, and overall it gives you a pretty smooth ride. You do sit pretty low to the ground here on the forefoot, and it's actually caged by this rubber here on the medial side. You don't really feel the bounce cushion right away, especially if you're just walking around, because the forefoot portion is pretty subdued. But once you do run around and make some more intense movements, then you can feel that bounce cushion being activated. Then here at the heel, it is actually pretty chunky. When you're walking around, you can actually just feel it by pressing down on it, and it does feel really nice and comfortable. This is definitely a good thing if you are a heavy heel striker. So overall, I think the cushion setup is pretty solid. It does feel a little bit more subdued than the Adidas DON Issue number 1s, but I feel like they did this so that you have a more low to the ground feel, but of course you still have that good impact protection. Then for the materials, the main body of the shoe is pretty much all mesh, and this mesh isn't gonna blow you away in terms of quality, but I think over time it will definitely get soft enough. So you do have this honeycomb looking mesh here on the forefoot, and this mesh does feel a little bit more structured, but I think that is just for durability purposes. You also have mesh here on the tongue as well as the back half of the shoe. The mesh here on the tongue and the back half of the shoe is a little bit more open feeling, and it's definitely a lot more plush and a lot softer. You also have mesh here on the heel, and inside that you have a TPU heel counter. You also have this very open-celled mesh here on this overlay on the lateral side. On that wing piece, you also have a little bit of fuse here at the top and a little bit of fuse underneath the mesh. Then here on the medial side, you do have another wing piece, but this time it's in synthetic leather. This leather definitely isn't premium, but I think it does its job as a support piece, as well as an aesthetic detail. You also have some more synthetic leather here on the medial side of the toe, as well as some heavy stitching. This is definitely gonna help with support, as well as protecting the upper during toe drags. Then you do have some nylon here at the tongue, as well as the top eyelets. And then here at the back, it is pretty interesting because I think this is just a foam. And you have it here going from the midfoot up to the ankle collar, and here on the heel as well. And then lastly, you have some cables that serve as the lace loops, a rubberized Adidas logo, and a very soft mesh sock liner. Then for fit and sizing, just like the Adidas DON Issue number 1s, the DON Issue number 2s fit quite a bit long. So with the DON Issue number 2s, I went down half a size, and it fit me perfectly. If you do have a normal width foot or a narrow foot, then you should go down half a size. Then if you are a wide footer, since these do fit pretty long and they have relatively soft materials, you should definitely go through the size. Then for the aesthetic details, you do have a translucent outsole with some pretty interesting design. You have Screech written here on the forefoot, Pow here on the midfoot, and Boom here on the heel. This is definitely a cool touch because it does have that comic book font. Then here on the midsole, that bounce foam is this green that has a little tint of blue. Then here on the medial side, you do have some bounce branding, as well as these rubber 3 stripes here at the heel, which have this reddish orange color. It's actually quite cool that they use these 3 rubber strips as both branding and as a support feature. Then here at the rubber that comes up here on the medial side, you do have some text that says determination over negativity. And you know, that's just some quote of the day material, I guess. And then here on the upper, as you can see, this Spidey Sense colorway has an almost all neon green upper, and it is definitely super striking and very loud. And all of the aesthetic details do go hand in hand to make that whole comic book feel. So here on the lateral and medial side, you do have these wings, and it is actually designed in a way that's like how a Boom or a Pow would look like in a comic book. So here on the lateral side, it is outlined by this translucent fuse, and then you have this reddish orange fuse underneath that mesh. Then on the medial side, it's actually this one whole solid synthetic leather piece. You also have that crimson stitching here on the forefoot, and this also ties in really well with that Spidey Sense theme. Then you also have crimson here on the cables that serve as the lace loops, on the Adidas logo that is rubberized, and on the Donovan Mitchell logo here at the back. Donovan Mitchell's logo is pretty cool because it is like patterned after Spiderman. And then for some more of that Spiderman flavor, you do have Spidey here on the right shoe and Sense here on the left shoe, hence Spidey Sense. And then lastly, you do have Don written here on the heel and a Marvel branded insole. Then for the overall aesthetics, it is a pretty quirky looking shoe, and it's also definitely very loud and very bright. I don't really know what exactly makes me love these that much, but for me, these are definitely very fire, or at least on court. I say that because, you know, this would be really cool when playing basketball, but I'm not really sure if I can pull these off casually. However, once again, I think that Adidas killed it with the whole Spider-Man theme, and even though these aren't red and blue like the Spider-Man DON Issue number 1s that just, you know, scream Spider-Man, I think they did a really good job on, you know, playing on the Spider-Man concept while not making everything just like a blue and red shoe. But of course, I know that this is a pretty quirky looking shoe, and this colorway is definitely super bright with all of the neon green. So please sound off in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on the aesthetics on the DON Issue number 2s, and do you like this Spidey Sense colorway? Then for the price, the DON Issue number 2s retail for 5,500 pesos here in the Philippines, or $100 US. This is definitely, in my opinion, the killer feature of the DON Issue line, because for a signature shoe, 5,500 pesos is pretty cheap because the Dame 6s aren't expensive and the PG4s are also pretty cheap, but these do cost a little bit less than those. And you know, for what you're getting, like a pretty durable and solid feeling outsole, a full-length bounce midsole, and an all-mesh upper that, you know, even though it's not the most premium thing in the world, it does have quite a bit of plushness to it, and it'll definitely break in over time. So in my opinion, this definitely has the potential of the DON Issue number 1s, and that's being a very good performer while still being very affordable, which makes this a potential steal. I did get my pair over at Adidas in Trinoma, and when I got these were the only colorway available. But if you do hop on the Adidas site, you do have this colorway, as well as some of the Crayola collaboration colorways. However, Adidas is still having problems with their deliveries, and I just got one of my Adidas deliveries last week, and I waited like 7 to 8 weeks for those, which is just insane. So I would really advise against ordering from the Adidas site. So if you want a pair and you do live here in the Philippines, then definitely go to the Adidas stores because you'll definitely be waiting forever if you order it on the Adidas site. However, if you are living anywhere else aside from the Philippines, I don't think there are any order fulfillment issues by Adidas. So in that case, the Adidas site would be pretty okay. So there you have it, guys. That was my quick look and unboxing on the DON issue number 2 Spidey Sense. If you liked the video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Then if you have any comments, questions, or any suggestions for any future videos, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below as well. Then if you haven't already yet, please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. It would help us out a lot here at Sneaks and Ball PH.